welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin. I am a pastor, author, entrepreneur, and empowerment coach. As always on this channel, we are helping people to live better, love better, and
be better.
And for these series of videos, I am joined with my amazing, beautiful wife.
And you're just as amazing and beautiful also.
I finally get a compliment.
Oh my God, I give you compliments. You get to start, so it's your introduction.
So we are reviewing one of our shows that we are just now watching.
Yes, it's been a while for me.
I've not watched. I know what it is. I've seen maybe
I know what it is.
Few episodes here and there, but it's The Bachelor, right?
Right, and they've been on since 2002. So I watched it at the beginning, and then as the drama got larger and less people were finding love.
Right, because the track record, if we're honest, the track record on this show isn't that great.
The track record is horrible. And so I guess after a while it wasn't appealing to me anymore because I'm not big on a lot of drama.
Yeah.
So
so this is recap reaction to The Bachelor. The 25th season of The Bachelor.
And finally, after 25 seasons, what was the big change? What was the epiphany?
So let's just be honest. Let's just start off with this. One of the reasons that we're doing this is, if you can't tell, we are people of color. We are black, right? And so for me, I just never really got into The Bachelor, but we figured it was significant. We have the first black bachelor.
Yes.
And so shout out to that. Now, if we can just be honest, we keep it 100% real here.
100.
We keep it real. We recognize that the reason that they did this is because of things like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and what have you. So
what happened was that a lot of people start bringing awareness to the network, like, hey, we are not being represented in these spaces.
Yep.
And what are you going to do about it?
Because
this is NBC, right?
ABC.
ABC. NBC could do better too. So, but ABC, like, hey, ABC, what are you going to do about this?
Right.
Because we're not being represented here. And so they're like, oh, you're not. Oh my God.
Oh, you mean
you didn't think about
somebody
this?
is craving black men too?
Right.
And not just fetishizing them?
Right.
That's a whole other thing.
That's another whole thing. And from the Bachelorette, they had their bachelor. Her last name is Crawley as well.
No relation, at least not that we know. I may have to do a 23andMe or an ancestry to
find
figure that out.
But he was supposed to be a contestant on the Bachelorette.
Right.
And because she found love very quickly, because they had to cut production.
Right. And
she was like, I'm not pretending here. I think I found someone and I want to pursue that person. Kudos to her. And so he was a contestant. And as you see the season opener, I feel like if they had to make their first choice, they were correct on making their first choice.
Seems like a great person.
Matt seems like a great guy.
Absolutely.
I have a daughter. Hey, he gonna bring him home. You know, he's obviously educated. Went to Wake Forest, which is a good school, and he did play ball.
Yep.
Always hope that he played ball.
Yep.
You know. Yeah. So, but as he tells his story, you know, he is. We would say in our culture we'll coin it as mixed, or his parents was interracial.
His father's black, his mother's white. Yes.
Right.
Grew up really in a single family home because the parents didn't work out. So,
and he's from North Carolina, you know.
North Kakalaka.
Yeah, so he has a great story, great background. I hate to say great story, but you know, he had some struggles obviously in his life, but he turned out well and managed well to be a young man that works at a great company. I've seen the company even here in our state.
Commercial real estate. And he also works with kids, so very active, very involved.
Very active, involved.
Absolutely.
You know, 28-year-old single guy.
Yep.
So, you know, now as they start the show, I was a little curious. I don't remember in previous Bachelors any family or parents coming at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, why do you have to put, like, I just want to make sure you know he's half white. It gave that feeling to me. Yeah. If we're gonna be honest,
again, we're gonna keep this real. If you
we're doing a black edition, this is the black edition of the show. We're gonna point out.
I am not a fan. We're not going to be looking at the Instagrams and trying to figure out the backstories on everybody.
Well,
we're watching this show. We watch the 2 hours and we're commenting, reaction.
Hey.
And we're going to keep it with how we would normally have these conversations.
Right. And so I felt that a little awkward. I'm like, normally because I did watch it when it started. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember parents coming at the beginning. Now, as they do the last ones, that's when the parents give input to the Bachelor. So I was like, I don't ever remember that happening at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I felt that was a little forced, in my opinion. I'm like, you show the pictures. We know his mom is white. Okay. Then all of a sudden she shows up and has to give advice at the beginning. Right.
The other forced moment for me felt when Matt and what's his name, Chris, went to have the talk before the lady started showing up. And he's like, I gotta feel some kind of way. I feel the pressure, and he acknowledges the pressure. Chris came off as, in my opinion, he came off as purposefully ignorant of some of how can I put it? The expectations or challenges, because he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, the fact that I'm the Black Bachelor, so there is the expectation or the thought from some people that I would choose another woman of color versus choosing a white woman.
Right.
So
I feel like it's I think he was getting the elephant out of the room. Yeah. Because they were addressing things that, yes, either already is happening in his social media or will. Point blank, anytime a person of color is on a national stage, you represent us. I'm sorry. And it's unfortunate.
It's unfair. It's unfortunate.
But even though we can be all the same color and we all come from different cultures, we are black when we come on TV. And that's all people see. True. And you represent all of us, no matter what our cultural backgrounds are. And when something goes wrong, you're only black. Right. You're nothing else but that. Right. And so, unfortunately, even like the President of the United States, all the areas where we've been the first, it had to be the right person to say that, oh my God, they can be educated. Oh my God.
I'm just going to say
they can hold a job
that can make everyone else feel safe.
Right.
That's really, if I can just be honest, that's really what it is. Well, again, we keep it 100 on this one.
So I feel for their first one, they did a really great job. He seemed like a great guy.
And when I say safe, I'm not saying that as an insult to Matt or anything of that nature.
Oh God, no.
I'm saying that there is, in my opinion, I think there is a bend towards those that fit a very polished.
Correct. Okay. And he may share, because he does bring up very early that he had some challenges being a kid. Yeah. I know he had it harder, and it could have been from both sides. Right. Not only just from white, but even from the black side. Yep. Are you black enough? Yeah. And we have a problem in doing that.
That's a whole other thing.
I know, but we have to mention that. Yeah, that's why he may have some struggles.
Yes. There. All right. So let's get into the 193 women that showed up to meet this man.
I try to write down all these wonderful women's names, and I was like, oh my God. And first of all, whoever decided this to be the entrance for women, I want to stand up for all those women who had to walk all those stairs and wearing heels. The majority of them had on heels. It felt like that would have been forever.
Yeah, it looked like it was a long walk.
That was the longest course.
A lot of stairs. And again, I don't watch this. I've never really watched it before, so I don't know if this is normal.
No. Okay. I mean, normally they have a house and they have a little entryway to go in. But someone in production, as a woman, didn't stand up for these ladies. Like, these girls were trying to almost fall.
4 or 5 of them that fell, yeah.
I was like, ooh. Yeah. And it was hilarious. But at the same time, I'm like, I wouldn't want to walk. I would have took my shoes off. By the time I got halfway, I'm like, no, you're going to have me on TV.
So because it was so many, there's no way for us to go through each and every one of them. I don't have the time, effort, or energy to go through all 143 women. that showed up, but there were some standouts. There was some that kind of stood out for me.
Yeah, good and bad.
Yeah.
So
who do you want to go with? Who do you want to start with?
You want to just go ahead? Let's just go. We can start with. Well, let's talk about Chelsea. She did come in half dressed. Girlfriend, I was like,
she's a model.
She is a model.
So she
was like, she was thirst trapping. I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real. If I saw her in any other, I'd be the same way. I was like, where's the dress, baby? I'm just saying. Okay.
But
she was. I'm not saying she wasn't beautiful.
But she wasn't the thirst trap.
I know, but she was. Anyway.
If you say so. Okay.
That's what I'm putting out there.
So, yes. Chelsea is the model. Runway model that came, and
beautiful,
very beautiful
short
woman.
hair.
And he even remarked she is wearing that dress, and she was.
Bro, man stared at every chick that walked up that ridge, and he turned her. He was like,
he did. Listen, you gotta
like
see what it looks like
coming
and going.
Glass
you gotta see what it looks like coming and going. Let's just be honest, okay? Men are visual. That's a whole other thing there too. All right. So Chelsea, and then the one that did show up as a full-on thirst trap.
Go ahead, say her name, because which one will you be saying was
Kaylee?
The one wearing the lingerie.
She came on as
because she wanted him to pick out what dress she should wear.
So she literally came in bra, panties, and a robe.
I was like,
So,
and even the women were like, you just can't. You, as a woman, if every woman have a standard, you want that woman to have the same standard. And then some women was like, I should have thought of that. But at the same time, I'm like, boo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I think, and I don't even know if she was one of the ones that's picked. I can't remember. I think she was.
Yeah, she was.
She was picked. But for me, I'm just like, okay, that's great for eye candy. But then now it's like, okay, what do you bring to the table?
I mean, he thought she was showing confidence in doing. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
But will he take her home to his mother?
Right. Right. All right. So, and then this was the one.
Oh, you want to go there already? You don't want to talk about. Let's just talk about some easy ones first.
Okay,
like
go ahead.
The young lady with the pickup. She came in an old Ford pickup.
I think her name was Kayla,
and that was sweet,
right?
Because they're from the same state,
right?
I don't know if they're from the same city, but from the same state,
right?
And and so they share that moment, and she gets to use that later on
as part of their time together.
So I thought that was unique and trying to bring it home. Yeah. So that was sweet.
Some of them just use the basic. I'm gonna walk up out of the limo,
right? I'm gonna get my pageant question, answer, which is fine,
and keep moving on. But then there were some that did make an effort to stand out.
Well, like one did a survival kit for Bachelor. Yeah. We had some that were goat shoes saying I'm the goat.
The goat feet was just like you really didn't think that one through.
She was trying. I mean, that's original. I haven't seen anyone ever come up.
I would remember that, but not necessarily in a good way. I don't even remember what her name was, so I don't know if she made it through or not. But
one came because he did play football in college and did try out for 2 teams.
Right.
So she had on shoulder pads and Miss James on the back.
Yeah.
One bought a step stool.
Yes, because
so
she was
short. Real
he's
short.
kind of tall. So
yeah, he's kind of tall.
Then you had the lady in the tramp kiss.
Yeah, I was
she brought a bowl of half cooked pasta. It looked like
half cooked pasta
with no sauce.
With no sauce.
First of all, I don't know you, and this is filmed in the era of COVID. And granted, they did do their quarantine, what have you.
Right.
But I don't know you, so I'm not gonna take your hand that you just got out of a car and pick it up. And he did it.
He played along.
More power to you, Matt. I'm sorry.
He's a player. He played along. He was a team player.
Listen, we've been married 24 years, and I don't know about
the first
time just you picking up pasta and putting it in my mouth. Yeah. All right.
MJ came in the pizza delivery.
She couldn't get the door open because she didn't unlock it all the way through.
So somebody's pizza car.
Yes.
And it was a pizza car.
And then Katie.
Go
ahead.
Public announcement. Your vibrator either stays in your home or in your suitcase.
Yeah.
This young lady decides to bring a vibrator, points it at him. I mean, she had a story. I was home alone.
I'm not the type of brother that wants a vibrator in my face. I'm sorry.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, wow, kind of laughing and all.
Yeah.
You know, do you like it? Why would I don't know. Maybe you into that. That's not my business.
Right.
But for you to bring it, and then he's like, this is like a lightsaber, you know, like Star Wars. A very short one. But I'm like, I was just so put off.
And that vibrator had a lot of input, if I can say, the rest of the night.
It did. And she tapped the young lady with it.
Yeah.
And the young lady was not happy about being tapped.
I wouldn't be. I'm sorry.
She handled it well, because I'd be like, first of all,
look here, boo.
You're not going to tap me with your vibrator. That's the first thing I would have said. And because you did, I'm going to take a few more minutes, so you can wait.
Yeah. I mean, she left it on the table. They named it. It was
my
just
God.
like,
and it turned out to be one of the other young ladies' names.
Yeah, MJ,
they named it MJ.
Which is Matt James' initials. Yes,
right.
I get that. But it was
well, the first thing I thought about was Michael Jordan.
Don't disrespect my boy like that.
I'm being honest. And then she's like, oh my God, my name is MJ. I'm like,
no. All right. So that was just not good.
And we're going to talk about the Queen.
Well, then Kit shows up in a Bentley.
Yes.
Kit seems like she's
fashion entrepreneur.
She seems like she's just an Instagram model. That's what she comes off as.
Oh, maybe
as a
that's
spoiled
the name
Instagram model. I don't know. That's just my opinion, my thought. All right, but yes, then the Queen shows up.
Lord Jesus. You called her basic.
She basic. I'm sorry.
You called her basic.
She's basic.
And I was like, okay, I agree with you.
It's like the tiara is the most interesting thing on her. She's basic.
And people were put off by her. A lot of the women were put off by her.
She stole twice.
Yes. Well, and see, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She did, but you have to be either courageous to say, I'm going to take my moment.
Right.
Or you're going to be the introvert that's going to at least give some type of attention to yourself, right, where you're going to stay on. You have to realize you're on a show.
Right.
And he has to pick you. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, you're going to have to make room for yourself. I mean, you are trying to be polite with all the other women, but at the same time, you're like, I want to stay, and you're going to have to be just like everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I give her credit for stepping out.
Right.
And I can't
It's just the way she did
I can't fault her for taking more of an opportunity over women that did not.
Right.
Because there were a lot of women that were like, oh, I can't find opportunity with him, what have you. And I'm in this environment, what I'm understanding is that it's best to just go ahead, because you have a limited amount of time.
Get it out of the way. Like if you find out where he is, like if you got to take off them heels and run up there and slide into it.
Everybody interrupted at some point. Listen.
Yeah.
Take your shot.
Take your shot.
If you get 20, 30 seconds, that's 20, 30 seconds that you didn't have before.
Exactly. So, and you know, so I can't fault her, but the way she handled it and the way she put it, go. You better go now.
Yeah, I think she had a little too much to drink.
Yeah, I think she was a little tipsy.
I think she might have a little too much to drink that night.
I think she was a little tipsy.
I think that. So yeah, I mean, those are the main things. So he sent a few home.
Oh, you had to mention at the beginning. So now again, I haven't watched all the seasons. Oh, yeah. I watched at the very beginning, the first maybe 5 or 6 seasons. But he did open in prayer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, or that being a big thing with a lot of the other men. I mean, put it in the comments, you know, if you've seen Bachelor every season and they used or brought forth their spirituality.
Right.
So he decided to pray, and he's like, that calms me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same way. Sometimes just having prayer, getting it out there. He talks about being vulnerable.
Yes.
He talks about being interracial, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think he was saying, you know what, this is who I am. I'm being vulnerable. Right. I'm trying to be vulnerable. I'm not a perfect person. And he kind of set, you know, the scene for the night.
Right. And that actually the desire for vulnerability actually led to the first impression rose, which I almost forgot, which was given to Abigail.
Now this is where I'm a little thrown. So he's talking. Mm-hmm. he expresses how, you know, he's very attracted to her physically.
Right.
And bro, man, just go in for it. Like, kissing, like, I mean, like, he was in the moment. Like, the light came on. It was like, kiss me or something. Like, oh, sure, I would love to.
Right.
And so he kissed her, I mean, at least on TV, at least 30 seconds.
It wasn't a peck on the lips. It was
he gave her a good kiss. So I was like, okay, bro, you know, handle your business.
Yeah.
And she reciprocated, you know. Now, she shared about being hearing impaired, which is also another great thing for her to have the confidence to come on the show.
Right.
Because, again, we are diverse as a United States, and everyone's beautiful people, whatever their disability is, whatever their color is, their nationality. And again, we don't get to see that a lot of times.
Right.
So hopefully this will be a good sign for ABC to bring on the next Latino, the next Asian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways that you can express this where people want to. I think people really just want to see people in love. That's why I watched the first couple of seasons. It wasn't that I was looking for anyone of any specific color.
Right.
I was looking for someone to find love and be in a relationship, because that's the story. That's the.
But I think the reason that for us that it kind of fell by the wayside was that we were not seeing anyone that represented us or represented our community.
Correct.
So
they started in 2002. It is 2021.
This is the 25th one. So even if we're going based off of percentages, we're not even there.
Right.
So yeah. So I think that's anything else you wanted?
The scenes that I saw, I mean, Bachelor always got to make somebody cry. At least 4 or 5 women going to be crying. When you got a grown man crying, I mean, only the Bachelor get the grown men to cry. And there's nothing wrong with men crying.
Right.
But it's like somehow they're gonna I feel like they make you cry.
They create a situation.
They create something like y'all intense. Like, this is torment for a relationship.
But let us know in the comments who your favorites are. Let us know who you think. Like I said,
did anybody like Katie? I'm just saying, and Victoria.
Yeah.
You know what gimmicks did you like the best, and what gimmicks you should have said that it should have stayed at home?
Because I think Victoria's being kept around for ratings. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. But
all right, so let us know in the comments. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and request notifications as we do a lot of these videos, and we go live from time to time. But I think that's it. So have a great one. We'll be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.